Mr. Schuster and your musicians, excellent job. Can we give them an applause, please? Well, good evening, and welcome to the Davison Alternative Education Class of 2017 graduation. Congratulations to those who will be graduating tonight, and welcome to the family and friends. My name is Eric Liskey, and it's my honor to serve as Superintendent of Davison Community Schools. It's also my great pleasure to welcome you this evening to tonight's DAE commencement ceremony. Just in case, if you have a cell phone with you, if you could silence that as this ceremony is being taped and will be played on DTV. Before we move into our program, I'd like to thank the family, friends, and staff members at DAE that are with us tonight, as well as those who couldn't be with us this evening. We know that your support, your guidance, and your love has certainly played a critical role as these graduates work to pursue their high school diploma. You obviously made a huge difference. Everyone seems to have their own definition or theory about how to achieve success. A quick Google search on quotes of success provides over 75 million hits. Needless to say, there are many ways to determine success. Achieving a goal, such as graduating high school, is one way to measure success. So well done, graduates. You are successful. Very successful people don't always start out successful. Oftentimes, they failed miserably early in their life. Think about Thomas Edison. Really? 1,000 failures to invent the light bulb? But he kept on inventing, and he kept on pursuing his dream. And I think we're all quite glad he did. Everyone makes mistakes, and everyone encounters life's failures. However, one common trait about successful people is that they learn from their mistakes and failures. Unsuccessful people tend not to learn from them, and they keep repeating that behavior that leads them to the very same mistakes and failures. Graduates, the fact that you are here tonight is a sign that you are the type of people that learn from your mistakes. Good for you for taking the first step toward a very successful life. The completion of your high school diploma is highly important for you to continue to pursue a successful journey. I challenge each of you to continue your quest for success. You truly do have what it takes. You've proven that tonight and throughout your years in high school. However, there will be more mistakes and failures as you grow, but use each one of them as an opportunity to learn from. Because when we learn from our failures, we become even more successful. I offer each of you my sincere congratulations upon this special day of graduation. I am very proud of each of you, and I'm also very proud of the Davison Alternative Education Program from which you are graduating. It is a different type of alternative high school, and they're doing great things. Good luck to each of you in all of your journeys towards future successes. Now I'd like to introduce Principal Sue Kenko to address the class of 2017. Please welcome Ms. Kenko.
Good evening. Welcome, especially to the DAE class of 2017, family and friends here to support our graduates. It's an honor to stand before you tonight and extend congratulations to each of you. Many of you will recognize the principals on stage that you had beginning, some of you as early as elementary school. And on behalf of all of us, please know how very proud we are of each of you as you've reached your goal of high school graduation. Graduation is a significant accomplishment in life's journey, and each of you came to us with a unique story. For many of you, life's been a roller coaster ride. You've persevered through joys and sorrows, through the difficulties and the challenges. You are here tonight because you are determined to be successful and to reach your goals. You know, as I was preparing my comments tonight, I thought to myself, how can I tie into your class song, Free Bird? I wasn't going to sing it for you, nor did you want me to sing it for you. And this may be a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to share a story about birds, but especially about, and those of you in the back I'm sure can't see this, but about eagles. This story has been an inspiration to me, and it creates great perspective. The name of the story is Even Eagles Need a Push. It's a story written by David McNally. The eagle gently coaxed her offspring toward the edge of the nest. Her heart quivered with conflicting emotions as she felt the young one's resistance to her nudging. Why does the thrill of soaring have to begin with the fear of failure? This ageless question was still unanswered for her. As in the tradition of her species, her nest was located high upon the shelf of a sheer rock face. Below, there was nothing but air to support the wings of each chick. Is it possible that this time it will not work? She thought. Despite her fears, the eagle knew it was time, and her maternal mission was almost complete. All that remained was one final task, the push. The eagle drew courage from an innate wisdom, for until the chicks learned to soar, they would fail to understand the privilege it was to have been born an eagle. The push was the greatest gift she had to offer her baby chicks. It was her supreme act of love. And so one by one, she pushed them, and they flew. They flew, and so have you. The incredible staff here at DAE, starting with our own Dean of Students, Chris Wilson, and every other DAE staff member, from teachers to secretaries, gave you the push that you needed. Actually, you may have even given us a little push back and disagreed with some of that nudging to get you moving. Anybody want to agree with that? I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look. But you complied, and here you are tonight. Class of 2017, we give you another nudge as you graduate tonight. Maybe I should actually just call it what it is, and that's a push. A push for you to carry on with your life, fulfilling your next goals with confidence. And as Mr. Liskey alluded to, don't be afraid to fail, as failure is only a stepping stone to success. Graduates, we look forward to watching you in the years to come as you spread your wings and soar to great heights. Congratulations to the DAE class of 2017.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Davison Alternative Ed graduation for 2017. I'm Chris Wilson. I'm the Dean of Students here at Alt Ed. It is absolutely wonderful to see everybody here to celebrate with our graduates in this very momentous occasion. As we get ready to present our graduates, I'd like to briefly share some of the highlights of this outstanding group of students. There's no doubt that there is a lot of potential here. We, this year, Alternative Ed helped 46 seniors complete the requirements for graduation. 9 of these students were able to complete their graduation requirements early, 2 of them doing so in the course of 3 years. One of our seniors earned the A+B = C award from the Davison Kiwanis. Many of our seniors joined into the prom trip down to the Detroit Princess this year. Also, our seniors had an opportunity to visit a number of college campuses, including Mott, Oakland, and Saginaw Valley. 20 of our seniors will be attending a 2-year college very soon. 3 of them will be going to a 4-year institution. 3 of them will be joining the military. And 6 of them are planning on going directly into the workforce. I think you can agree that this is a motivated bunch of kids. Additionally, 3 of our students will receive scholarships tonight. Thank you to the Davison Odd Fellows, the Davison Chamber of Commerce, and Back to the Bricks. Okay, having representatives of the senior class speaker graduation is a long-standing tradition, and we have 2 very outstanding speakers tonight to share some stories with you. The first is a young lady who came to DAE from a nearby district. She was behind in credit, and she was looking for a smaller environment where she could be successful. Over her 2 years in alternative ed, she has grown into a strong-minded, self-reliant young woman willing to stand up for what's right even when it's not popular. I proudly present Miss Abby Sabin.
Unfortunately, there is no plot or synopsis of high school to tell us what is in store. Therefore, we have to judge this book by its cover. And honestly, I don't like it. Who wants to wake up at the crack of dawn? I'll tell you who. No one. But I guess that's what they made coffee for. Like any novel, high school consists of an exposition, rising action, a climax, falling action, and the conclusion. I'll be optimistic and read on because I can't quit now. Freshman year was probably scary for us all. We were all blindly scrambling around to classes, figuring out where to sit at lunch and what friends we still had left from middle school. As the pages went on, so did the years. We got 9th grade out of the way, and we were already 1/4 of the way there. In the upcoming chapters, there were more homework, more classes, and more friends and teachers. Thankfully, by sophomore year, we discovered what food was actually edible in the cafeteria. During my freshman year and sophomore years, I attended Kersley High School. I was lucky enough to find one genuine person with a heart of gold. Alyssa became my foundation to make it through those first 2 years. I suffered from almost crippling anxiety and panic attacks at Kersley, so it was nothing less than hell. But she was the main supporting character in my story there. During this summer of sophomore year, I moved in with someone who's been nothing less than a mom to me. Another main character, Cindy. She took me in and taught me family is a good thing, and it's not obligation, and it's not dysfunction. She has been my source of motivation and hope when I couldn't find a fraction for myself. I'm thankful for her because she was an escape, and some people don't get that. They are stuck trying to get out by themselves, and it makes me wish every teenager had a Cindy. When I moved in, my world was turned upside down. New school, new home, and new opportunities. Little did I know coming to the alt was going to impact my life for the better. I thought I lost all my characters because some died off and others lingered in pages, but nothing more than past tense. But at the alt, I gained so many more, some main characters and others secondary, but both equally as important. The transition to a new school is never easy, but with anxiety on the move, it's even harder. I was lucky enough to have such a great principal supporting me every step of the way. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. You were there when I was anxious and panicky on the day of orientation. You pulled me into your office because there were too many people and I was overwhelmed. That's just the tip of the iceberg. A few days in, I had a panic attack, and I was sitting in your chair in your office, shaking, crying, and struggling to breathe properly. Mr. Wilson, you never thought I was being dramatic or faking it. You never judged me. You were always there helping me and being understanding. No matter who you are, I think we can all agree Mr. Wilson is a remarkable person. He always went above and beyond for us, whether it was fixing schedules or dealing with our riffraff. He did what he could and then some. All he wanted was us to make something of ourselves. He always stayed on top of our grades and classes, always congratulating us for our accomplishments, whether they be big or small. People like Mr. Wilson give me hope in humanity, that not all people are bad. Mr. Wilson was nothing less than extraordinary. Mr. Wilson, along with the other teachers and the friends I made at the alt, will always be main characters in books. They all left lasting impressions. Miss Springsteen showed me teachers are human too. She showed me we can go through a lot, and there will be days where some are better than others, but our struggles do not define us. We were always baby birds to Miss Springsteen, and she was nothing less than a mother bird to us. She taught us right from wrong and was always there if you needed a shoulder to cry on. She ultimately helped me spread my wings and fly. She is such a genuine, kind-hearted, empathetic, and beautiful person. I'm so thankful to have had her as an English teacher. Next, there is Miss Hollenbeck, who I see a lot of myself in. She is always so cheerful and kind, but she never took crap from anyone. She always stood up for others. She is a beautiful person inside and out, and I'm so privileged to have met her. She is such a strong and inspiring woman. And then there is my other English teacher, Miss Colvin. She is definitely a comedian and never fails to make me laugh with her witty comebacks and jokes. She was always so patient with all of us. She never let us give up. She pushed us to do our best. She is such a strong person, and every day she always was in a good mood, even if she was sick or having a bad day. Thank you, Miss Colvin, for always pushing me to do my best. Next is my consumer math teacher and economics teacher, Mr. White, who never let us put our heads down and sleep, and that alone was enough to keep us going. At least it was for me. I'm so honored to have had you as a teacher for your last years. I'm sad that upcoming students won't get the luxury of having you as a teacher, but I'm grateful I did. Thank you for simply being you. Next is Miss Mobley, who I had for current events. She's such an earnest and approachable person. I know no matter what opinion someone has, you always stay open-minded. You are easy to talk to and never made me feel as though my opinion or struggles are anything less than important because of my age. Thank you for always being there for me and others. Simply thank you for being such a beautiful and humble individual. Then there's Mr. Crockett, my computer teacher, who definitely needs to be a comedian. Oh man, if you're as gullible as me, talking to him is such a treat because you never know if he is serious or not. And half the time, he's not. He always takes the time and effort to praise the students who have done their classes. Thank you for being a comedic, blunt, and overall compassionate person. Next is Miss Weekly, my chemistry teacher. She is so intelligent and kind, and I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to have her as a teacher. You made chemistry enjoyable and interesting. You always took the time and effort to help me or others if we were confused about something. You have a lot of patience and empathy for others, which I'm grateful for. Thank you for being such a beautiful person inside and out. And what I thought was my worst subject was taught by Miss Wilson, who is small yet definitely mighty. She takes no crap from anyone, is the first one to jump down someone's throat to stick up for someone. You are such a sweet, kind, and loving person. You made math actually enjoyable and were always there if I or anyone else needed help. Thank you for being so great. Then there's my other math teacher, Miss Lewis, who always helped me with any questions I had. She's such a kind and beautiful person, and she is so sweet and always looking out for others. Thank you for being there. Finally, there is Miss Bennett, who is much more than a counselor. She is basically Superwoman. She juggles so many things at once, but still manages to be there for us all. Thank you for being basically Superwoman. You are such an admirable, kind-hearted, and uplifting person. Lastly, thank you, Miss Shaw and Miss Lasley, for being on the front line and always taking every question students are throwing at you. I really appreciate it. Then there was my group of friends who were not anything less than loving, caring, kind, trustworthy, and overall amazing. Not everyone was a main character. Some were secondary, but all are significant. The most amazing thing about the all is the students inhabiting it. Now, all of us get along. There is always drama and fights, and that is expected. But I know if I was upset or having a panic attack, people came up to me to make sure I was okay, whether I knew them or they were just acquaintances. We are all family here in a way. We all looked out for one another. We all coexisted, and we were comfortable. You can't get that at any other school. That's what makes Davison All Ed unique. High school has definitely been a struggle, twists and turns on every page. When you thought you were reading one genre, you were suddenly in a mystery or horror book, but hopefully this is your triumphant fairy tale ending. Everyone here has had their fair share of struggles, but also accomplishments. High school was a different genre for everyone. Either way, you have finished this novel, and now it's time to start the next. The theme of this novel has become clear now. High school is a Rocky-type instruction manual, preparing us for what's after high school, teaching us how to be well-rounded individuals. The novel of high school has ended. Graduation was the last chapter, but the novel of the rest of your life is just beginning. Here's to your fairy tale ending.
Thank you so much, Abby. I'm not sure if you caught it in her speech when she was talking about her anxiety. The fact that she wanted to come up and speak before you today is proof of how much she has grown and how independent she's becoming, that she could stand up here and do that. So great job out of you, kid. You killed it. Our second student representative has proven herself to be a reliable student as well. She too is outstanding. She has a big heart and a giving spirit. I am so pleased to introduce Miss Michaela Ross.
All right, so first I want to apologize because I'm extremely nervous and I've never talked in front of this many people, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Welcome, friends and family of the graduating class of 2017. Wow, we're finally here. It seems like just yesterday that I attended orientation with my mom. I remember crying on the way home because I was about to embark on a new and scary experience, full of new teachers, classes, and of course, people. Then, of course, my mom cried because, well, I was crying. The first year here was abundant with learning experiences, but I quickly made new friends and I learned to love my new school home. Some of my favorite memories are going to home football games. We would paint our faces and dress in Cardinal swag, but rarely watched the football game. It was more of a social event to meet new friends and socialize with old friends. Brianna and Caroline have become a couple of my best friends. I'm sorry. And I can't imagine the last few years without them. We have laughed, we have cried, we have questioned our ability to finish assignments, and sometimes felt like we were never going to graduate. But look, we're here. No matter where we go or what we encounter, I know they'll always be by my side. They aren't just my peers or my acquaintances. They are forever and will be my #1 fans. And if we are to go our separate ways and to not see each other ever again, I wish you both the best, and I love you both so much. Life may throw curveballs at us, but no matter what, keep me in your heart forever and always. We've gotten through the rain, now let's see if we can defeat the thunderstorm. Today would not be possible without the help, support, encouragement, and love of our family, friends, staff, and we are forever grateful to each and every one of you. I am a type 1 diabetic, so I quickly became a familiar face to the office staff when I needed some juice because my sugar was low or needed to call home because my sugar was too high. I couldn't even count the numerous of times that my mom and dad had to come up to the school to bring me diabetes supplies, snacks, or to pick me up early. The teachers and staff were always kind and understanding through it all. The past year, my diabetes has surely given me a run for my money, so to speak. I have been hospitalized 3 times since October from complications of this disease. There was a period of time that I thought there was no way I could graduate. The missing assignments and unfinished project seemed insurmountable. My mom would go to the school and pick up my homework, and I would pass time at the hospital writing papers and studying for tests. I sometimes still feel like I need to pinch myself because it doesn't seem real that I actually made it to this day. What seems even less real is the fact that I have been accepted to Mott Community College for pre-nursing. I will attend there in the fall. That will begin the next chapter in my life, complete with new struggles and opportunities to grow as a student and as an adult. I certainly would not be here if it wasn't for Mr. Wilson. He's always been there for me, whether it's personal family issues or a simple math problem. He's never left my side, and I am truly honored to call him my school dad, and I'm excited to show him what my future holds, because my future won't be possible without his assistance. So thank you again, Mr. Wilson. I am so proud of this class, and I am thankful to be a part of it. I hope that each and every one of us will take what we've learned over the past several years and use it to become better humans, regardless of which paths we take. I would like to thank my family and friends for being there for me and always encouraging me to reach for my dreams. A special thank you to my sister, Gabby, for being the best sister I could ask for laughing with me, for crying with me, and for always being the comic relief I needed when I needed a good laugh. And a huge thank you to my mom and dad. Words can never express my gratitude for them, for all they have done for me. My dad has been a firm voice of reason, and he has always offered advice free of sugarcoating. I hope to be a great nurse like him one day. My mom was and will always be my number one cheerleader. From sleeping on folded chairs while I was in the hospital to helping me with homework, she has been my rock. I know that they are proud of me, and I am excited to show them, and all of you, the amazing things I am going to do in life. The sky's the limit. There are two sayings that I can remember my mom constantly using during my childhood, but especially the last few years. Life is an adventure being one of them, and life is beautiful being the other. Let us begin this new adventure in life with open eyes and a fresh excitement, and may we never forget that life truly is beautiful. Good luck to all of you, and congratulations to this special accomplishment. Thank you.
Another outstanding job. And you absolutely did rock it like you told me yesterday you were going to. It is also a long-standing tradition here at Alternative Ed for a staff member to speak to the graduating class. This year's speaker has not been on staff for too horribly long, but he quickly became one of the student favorites. He understands the needs of alternative ed kids and serves as a mentor, a counselor, and a cheerleader all wrapped up in one. I give you the one and only Mr. Crocker, Mr. Tim Crockett.
Get my speech. All right, here we go. Families, faculty, administrators, and board members, thank you for attending tonight's commencement ceremony. Class of 2017, DAE. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our sponsors for tonight's event. Ticonderoga Pencils, number 2. Also number 3, not number 4, that would be ridiculous. I also want to thank BF Goodrich Tires, and for all the friends and family that are here. Sincerely, though, seniors, look around, look behind you, look up here. Without all of these people that have been mentioned time and time and again, without everybody here, you guys would not be there right now. So if you can, seniors, let's give our families, everybody up here, a round of applause, our teachers down there. Our graduates here before us would not have made it without you. It truly takes a village to guide our children on the path of success. Famous columnist Ann Landers once said, "It's not what we do for our children, but what we have taught them to do for themselves." I want to mention our wonderful staff at DAE. Such an amazing staff from top to bottom. One of my favorite things about our building is how well we meld together. We bring so many different personalities, experiences, knowledge bases to make a truly perfect team. And, we're not perfect, but we meld perfectly together. Every single staff member checks their egos at the door and are all integral parts of what makes our building so successful. We are a family at DAE. Sorry. That's what makes alternative education so unique. We're a smaller setting that helps provide stability, respectfulness, goal setting, positive reinforcement, motivation, and caring. We show kids that we are human. We listen to them. We lend advice, whether they want it or not. Sometimes not, lots of times. But I'll let you in a little secret. This class before you right here is one of the best classes I've ever worked with in 12 years of teaching. I love you guys. You are phenomenal in so many ways. So it truly was an honor to have you, or for you guys to ask me to come up here and do this. So I just want to let you know that. Okay, so many wonderful men and women that have fought through obstacles, adversity in their young lives to achieve success. Our kids here are resilient, they're strong-minded, they're goal-driven, they're compassionate, they're funny, and they're smart. Are they perfect? No. No, they're not perfect. But kids are kids, humans are humans. We're not perfect. But, as Mr. Liskey mentioned, hopefully we can all learn from our mistakes and move on. That's what life's all about. This group of students in particular show many different forms of intelligence. We have our math and science gurus. We have our future counselors and social workers, we have a lot of those. Engineers, theater and television stars, reality stars. Artists, nurses, musicians, mechanics, police and fire officers, and future military leaders. So am I worried about the class of 2017? No. I'm thrilled for society. These men and women sitting before you right now are going to do great things in our future, and I know that. New York Times best-selling author Timothy Ferriss said, "For all the most important things, the timing always sucks." So true. Waiting for a good time to quit your job? The stars will never align. The traffic lights of life will not all be green at the same time. The universe doesn't conspire against you, but it doesn't go out of its way to line up pins for you either. Conditions are never perfect. Someday is a disease that will take your dreams with you to the grave. If it's important to you and you want to do it, eventually, just do it now and correct it along the way. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. I believe that this is some of the best advice that I can give you guys for your adult lives. You will always have deadlines, obstacles, doubters, challenges, but you need to stay the course of your goals. Do not stop trying to reach your dreams for anyone or anything. Live every day to the fullest and chip away until you have achieved your goals. Frank Sinatra's song, My Way, illustrates this very same mantra. In the song, he states, "There were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and I spit it out. I faced it all, I stood tall, I did it my way." Stay focused, never give up on your dreams. Saying that I'll miss you guys is a massive, massive understatement, and I'll be honest, I miss you guys right now like crazy. Unless you are the person, of course, that hit my dog, Nico. That's a joke. He really didn't do that. Just inside joke. Next, I just want to mention Mr. Wilson real quick and what an instrumental person he is to you guys, but also to us staff. I will say that Mr. Wilson is a mentor of mine. He welcomed me with open arms right away. He let me set up my classroom that a way that I wanted to set up. He talked to me. He gave me suggestions. And then when needed, he gave me the nudge, which is what all good bosses do. But with all of you guys here and 20 plus years in the past, that's all with this guy. This guy lives and breathes alternative ed. I love this guy to death. I know you guys do too. And I think we should owe him a round of applause right now.
My goodness. It's a hard act to follow. I've been through a lot of these, 25 in fact. And it is always amazing to me to look out upon you guys and see the wide range of emotions that cross your faces over the course of this ceremony. You see the full range of things as you're sitting up here and you're watching. And it reminds me, I mean, it makes sense because it's a very emotional time. It's a milestone. It's a life-changing moment. But it reminds me of when I went through it as well. It was back in 1982 at the IMA Auditorium. That's what once was what became Dort Federal Arena or whatever they call it now. It was a while ago. And I was there with about 500 other seniors from Swartz Creek High School. We were the class of '82, and I wasn't paying a bit of attention to what was going on because I was absolutely freaking out. Because for some reason, I hadn't clued in that, yeah, school was done and you were moving on to something else. And I was absolutely terrified about what that might be. Because in my mind, it was every horrible thing that could possibly happen was what was going to be coming for me. School was comfortable. It's what I was used to. I knew what to expect. It was easy. But what was ahead of me was a potential nightmare. It's not like I didn't have a plan. I was already enrolled in college. I was going to be a doctor. Obviously, I took another turn. But I had a plan. But needless to say, when I left graduation, I was filled with dread because I knew that probably in the next week, something horrible was going to happen and it was going to be the end of everything. Luckily, over the course of the next 24 hours, I was able to kind of get my head wrapped around things by, of all things, playing cards. I had a group of friends in high school, and that's about all we did. We played cards. Any opportunity we got together, and it was cards. And graduation night was no different. This was before the rise of Texas Hold'em, so the game was euchre. And we played a lot of it, and we played all night that night. And that was a good thing for me because I find playing cards to be pretty relaxing. So that helped to kind of turn me down a notch and chill out a little bit. And then over the course of the night, I got kind of thinking about things, and I thought, well, it's really great when I get a whole bunch of good cards, but it's pretty darn important that I know how to play when I get the bad cards too. I need to find a way to make advantage of those as well and still be successful. And then it occurred to me, well, that's kind of what I'm dealing with now. I got all this potential stuff out there, all these good cards and bad cards, good things and bad things that are possibly going to happen to me. I don't have any more control over those than I do the cards that come out of the deck when I'm playing euchre. But when I played euchre, I felt confident in my abilities and my knowledge of the game that I could play whatever card came out of the deck. And I realized that I just needed to sort of turn that mindset onto those other things and know that Swartz Creek wouldn't have turned me loose if I wasn't ready. Just like we're turning you loose, you're ready. You've got the skills, I had the skills, and I just need to remember that regardless of what came into my path, it was going to be okay. And we would figure it out, and it wouldn't be the end of the world. So as you guys move forth, I need you to keep that in mind. You'll still freak out. Some of you are probably freaking out now. But it will be okay. As they've said before, Mr. Liskey, Mrs. Kenko, Mr. Crockett, all are saying the same thing. You're going to have some ups and downs, but you can overcome all of them. So there's a great world out there full of adventure. I'm excited to see you go out and create your own adventures, and I'm exceptionally proud of you. All right, so enough of that. Let's get on to the good stuff. Superintendent Liskey and Board of Education members here with us tonight. These students before you have met or exceeded the graduation requirements set forth by the Davison Community Schools Board of Education, as well as those of the state of Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present the 2017 Davison Alternative Education candidates for graduation.
Elizabeth Roth. Abby Saban. Caroline Marie Rowland. Elizabeth Susan Smith. Joshua Stewart. Brianna Gail Lewis. Justin McCann. Hannah Rose McDaniel. Austin James Owen. Brendan Chartrand. Sarah Marie Lucas. Austin Bowman. Nicholas Vasilis Giorgio. Sarah Glover. Madeline Toole. Zachary Glenn Preview. Garrett Taylor. Caleb Reed. Jacob Quintanilla. Sabrina Lorraine Robinson. Vanessa Marie Allen. Megan Lynn Danier. Caitlin Jane Payne. DeMonte Tyshawn Antoine Smith. Armando Cruz. Heather Alyssa Hartwell. Olivia Kelly. James Bernathy. Trevor Shaw. Zoe Hollifield. Kaylee Lee Gray. Marvin
Congratulations, graduates. As we've said a couple of times, the world's before you, and there are no dreams that are unachievable. You can do anything, and we can't wait to see what you end up doing. Earning the highest honor in the class of 2017 represents a tremendous amount of dedication, commitment, and hard work. Our valedictorian has proven herself as a highly motivated, hardworking student who never fails to give her best. This young lady maintains high expectations for herself, and I have no doubt that she will go on to do great things. It is with great pride that we honor our 2017 valedictorian, Vanessa Allen. Vanessa, please come forward. Come in. Vanessa's already attending classes in Mott, and she's pursuing a degree in nursing. Earning the honor of salutatorian for the class of 2017 is a young man who, through perseverance, hard work, and diligence, overcame the odds to be on the stage tonight. Would salutatorian Trevor Shull please come forward to accept his honor? Yeah, you can go whichever way you want. Trevor is headed into the workforce, although he is considering perhaps the armed forces. Congratulations, kid. Thank you. To announce our next awards is DAE Guidance Counselor and Overall Calming Influence, Mrs. Kathy Bennett.
A very special part of graduation is the presentation of college scholarships, and I'm happy to announce that 3 organizations will be presenting scholarships to 3 of our DAA students this evening. Tonight, these organizations are presenting much appreciated financial assistance so that our students will be able to further their education. Many of these organizations have been longtime supporters of our DAE graduates. This is a very exciting time for these students, as these awards are being revealed to the winners for the first time this evening, so they don't know they're getting them. The first scholarship will be awarded this evening is generously provided by the Davison Area Chamber of Commerce and will be presented by Jack Miles.
I want to thank you very much for having us here representing the Chamber. The Davison Area Chamber of Commerce Scholarship is the oldest scholarship presented to Davison high schools. We raise over $2,000 and we present 4 $500 scholarships and one here tonight. A little bit about the Chamber. The Chamber is made up of business owners of the area of Davison Township, and we put on a lot of different events. One of the events that's very key to us, October 19th of this year, is the Harvest Scholarship Auction, where we raise money. 100% of the auction that's donated goes back to the Davison schools. We need more support so we can give out more money. So remember that date, October 19th, $10 to get in, and that $10 goes back to the students. And there's great auction, live auction, silent auction. It's at the country club. And the food is free, and it's unbelievable, the eats there. So think about that in the future. Also, the Davison Chamber of Commerce is putting on the Festival of Flags. That's the type of stuff the Chamber does, so we put back a lot, the business owners, back into the community and especially back into the schools. So I'd like to present the scholarship from the Chamber of Commerce for $500 to do what you want with, but we write the check to the school. Vanessa Allen.
The next scholarship to be awarded this evening is provided through the generosity of the Davison Odd Fellows and will be presented by Daniel Isham.
Good evening. The Davison Odd Fellows this year are giving 10 $1,000 scholarships. This was made possible because the state Odd Fellows matched the money that we made selling refreshments at the car cruise. And tonight, I would like to present this to Abigail Sabin.
Our final award this evening is from Back to the Bricks and will be presented by Dale Fry.
If you caught the introduction, it is Back to the Bricks. I'm not sure how many people in here really know or heard of Back to the Bricks. Sounds like a few. Anyway, Back to the Bricks began over a decade ago with one car show in downtown Flint to help celebrate Flint's important automotive history. Today, 13 years later, Back to the Bricks is a nonprofit corporation whose mission is to celebrate the history and to provide an impact to Flint. I don't know who typed this. And Genesee County, with programs like the statue program that we have down on Flint's Saginaw Street, celebrating the automotive pioneers. We still host a car show in Flint, but it has turned into a 2-week event, along with several other major projects that we put on during the year. Back to the Bricks is now recognized as one of the top classic car events in America. Our latest program, Hot Rod High, is focused on our youth. Was that me? Everyone has a hidden talent, and our goal is to help discover that talent. Using the draw of these classic cars, kids and young adults approach us, and with the partnership of Mott and Baker College, we have developed a program for these young people to get involved in building and restoring cars. The automotive side is just a starting point, as our program is planned to include the STEM program. Who knows, someone who is motivated at Hot Rod High may someday be helping to put a lander on Mars. It's just all part of the education program that we believe in. Back to the Bricks is committed to investing in our youth. So as a part of his mission, Back to the Bricks has established a scholarship program. Our first investment in our youth was scholarships that were awarded last week at the Davison High School Honors Program. Tonight, I am proud to provide a scholarship in the amount of $2,000 to James Bernathy. James will be attending Northwest Ohio in the fall to study automotive and diesel technologies. Congratulations, James. They will have this. Get it later. You can get it later. Thank you.
I believe James also won a competition last year, the local Davison automotive competition thing, and got a scholarship from that. So he's got some good money to go to school. All right, so thank you so much to all these organizations for their generosity and commitment to our students. And please help me congratulate all of our scholarship recipients. Okay, and now the senior class of 2017 has a very special presentation they would like to make. Diamante Smith, Elizabeth Smith, and Megan Van Meter, will you please come forward? Okay. You're going to read this right here.
I would like to speak for myself and on the behalf of my fellow classmates of the class of 2017. Mr. Wilson, we would like to thank you for being here for us and all you do for DAE. Thank you for being patient with us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making some really tough school years better. You definitely have changed things in our point of view and how we look at them. You open our eyes to what we could be, what we could do, and all that we can become in a way that we never thought that was possible. You encourage us and tell us that we are able to do things, and most importantly, you believe in us when we can't believe in ourselves. Mr. Wilson, you are definitely a great leader for all of us and the students and staff of DAE. With a heavy heart, we wish you the best on your next adventure in your career. Please accept this token of appreciation from us, the graduating class of 2017. We truly isn't done. We truly cannot express how much you mean to all of us. Thank you.
It looks like I got freelanced on there for a minute. Thank you, guys. I love you to death. All right, back on track. I would like to thank everybody for their participation and assistance and support tonight. The Board of Education members, Mr. McGlashan, Mr. Hall, Mr. Hare, and Ms. Rhines. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate having so many of you here tonight. It was wonderful having you. Superintendent Liskey, Mr. Brown, and Mrs. Young, I thank you for all being here tonight. Thank you all to my fellow administrators for your presence. It is great to have representation for you to be able to see what these guys have done at the end. Your presence is greatly appreciated. Thank you, as always, to the high school string orchestra under the guidance of Mr. Schuster. As always, you are outstanding, and I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you. Thank you to my secretaries, Mrs. Shaw and Ms. Lashley, for your hard work preparing for this evening. And thank you as well to Mrs. Rooker, Ms. Brandis, and Mr. Tuttle for your behind-the-scenes actions in the completion of this program. And finally, thank you to my staff. You're amazing. Sorry, I'm cracking a little bit. It is an honor working next to you. Graduates, would you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present the Davison Alternative Education Class of 2017. Turn.